Welcome to Guyana, where the dense jungles meet the hustle and bustle of Georgetown, blending the roar of the jaguar with the hum of the streets. Here, time-honored traditions and fresh ideas share the stage, creating a rhythm all their own. In Georgetown, the early hours of the day come alive with the buzz of vendors and customers gathered around stalls packed with fresh produce. As the soft morning light hits the sidewalks, tropical fruits with tender pulp, warm bread and fragrant herbs take center stage. In this scene, the murmur of voices forms a spontaneous chorus, fueling exchanges and deals, while the air fills with scents that awaken the senses. Just beyond the market stalls, the city shows a different side. Between broad avenues and historic buildings, you can see the contrast between the market's bustle and the tranquility of tree-lined neighborhoods. In these quieter spaces, locals pause for longer conversations, sharing stories from the past and recent updates, weaving the local culture into every dialogue. As you move away from the urban center and head toward the banks of the Essequibo River, life takes on a different rhythm. Here, fishermen set out at dawn in their boats, casting nets over the calm waters that reflect the rising sun. Each journey carries echoes of generations who found in the river not just a source of livelihood, but also a shared identity, passed down from father to son, keeping the roots of the place alive. In the outskirts, as the morning settles in, farmers head into the rice fields to ensure the harvest that sustains so many families. The land, worked by generations, offers valuable resources. Among them is cassava, transformed into a variety of dishes that make their way to every table, nourishing not just the body but also a deep sense of belonging. Life in the fields, centered around agriculture, supports the community and strengthens lasting bonds. At the same time, the connection between city and village is seen in homes that shelter multiple generations. Grandparents, parents, and children share their daily lives under one roof, reinforcing ties that go beyond physical spaces. Meals are essential rituals. Sunday dinner is one of those moments when everyone gathers around a large table to enjoy cook-up rice. Rice, beans, coconut milk, meat, or seafood come together in one dish, reflecting the diversity that defines the region. On these occasions, it's not just about eating. It's about coming together to reaffirm values and bring a more human pace to life. Amid the rush of daily life, the dining table becomes a meeting place between the past, the present, and what's still to come. Despite an economic landscape that doesn't always favor progress, education remains a core value. Every morning, boys and girls head to school wearing uniforms that, though modest, reflect a belief in a brighter future. These outfits not only signify their role as students, but also represent a firm step toward reading, writing, and understanding the world, something evident in the country's impressive literacy rate. This achievement is the result of the collective effort of families and communities who prioritize learning, even when resources are limited. Beyond the daily grind of work and school, life is also anchored in cultural and spiritual foundations. Festivals bring people together through music, dance, and shared meals, while moments of religious practice offer spaces for reflection, reinforcing the importance of unity and the renewal of values. In Georgetown, the presence of African, Indian, and European groups creates a rich cultural tapestry where traditions intertwine. Meanwhile, in rural villages, daily life revolves around simple tasks. Children play by the rivers, women weave baskets using local materials, and elders share stories under the shade of mango trees. Life in this region blends the rhythm of city life with the calm of the countryside. Here, the past remains present alongside the dreams of tomorrow, creating a place where collective strength and respect for heritage stand out as defining traits of a people moving forward without forgetting their roots. Guyana, in particular, stands out as a land of rich cultural diversity. Its various ethnic roots, from indigenous descendants to groups from India, Africa, China, and Europe, create an environment where languages, customs, and beliefs coexist in constant dialogue. This coexistence isn't just a curiosity. It's a profound part of the national identity. In Georgetown, the capital, every corner seems to tell a story. The sound of local speech blends with phrases inherited from past immigrants, and traces of different cultures appear in everyday scenes, reinforcing the idea that traditions don't just survive, they find new ways to thrive. This linguistic and social tapestry reflects a country in harmony with its own diversity. Religiosity follows the same pattern. Churches, temples, and mosques share the same urban space, symbolizing a common understanding that diversity doesn't threaten, but enriches. Guyana isn't just defined by its cultural richness. It's also home to vast tropical rainforests that cover most of the country. With over 87% of its territory still preserved, it remains a rare haven of nearly untouched nature in today's world. Venturing into these areas, you'll find a vibrant diversity of life sharing the same space. There's the jaguar, the giant otter, and the harpy eagle, forming a mosaic of life that moves to its own rhythm, sustained by balanced cycles over time. For indigenous communities like the Wapishana and Makushi, these forests are much more than a habitat. They are a source of livelihood, providing food, building materials, and medicinal knowledge. This close relationship with the land upholds a way of life that respects natural rhythms and strengthens the harmony between people and the world around them. The waters of Guyana flow through its land like veins keeping a body alive. The Essequibo River, one of the largest in South America, cuts across the country, supplying remote villages with what they need most. Along its path, it provides drinking water, abundant food, fertile banks for crops, and fish that sustain livelihoods. Beyond offering vital resources, these waterways serve as safe routes between isolated communities, bringing together people once separated by distance. The life that springs from these rivers isn't just what you see on the surface. Schools of fish swim below while capybaras and caimans roam the banks, forming a rich ecosystem. In this setting, a special relationship between nature and its inhabitants comes to life. Regional festivals celebrate community unity, and indigenous knowledge honors the balance between what the land provides and what people give back. Here, Guyana reveals a way of life where culture and the environment form a single cycle, inspiring respect and mutual understanding. Guyana's cuisine is the result of a fusion of diverse heritages that have intertwined over time. Afro-Guyanese, Indo-Guyanese, Amerindian, Chinese, and European influences come together in every dish, preserving memories and inspiring creations that go deeper than what meets the eye. Early in the day, bake and saltfish is a perfect example of this blend of traditions. The fried dough contrasts with salted cod, desalted and sautéed with onions, tomatoes, and seasonings, keeping Afro-Guyanese heritage alive in daily life. Alongside it, cassava bread tied to Amerindian roots transforms grated cassava on a hot griddle into something simple yet versatile, ready to be topped with spreads or enjoyed with just butter. These breakfast staples show how, even from the morning meal, the palate is invited to journey through different cultures. Later in the day, cook-up rice takes center stage as one of the most iconic dishes of the local cuisine. Made in a single pot, it blends rice, beans, coconut milk, and meats or fish, making it suitable for both everyday meals and gatherings that call for something more communal. During celebrations, some Guyanese dishes take center stage at the table. Pepper pot, for example, is a slow-cooked meat stew enriched with cassaripe, a cassava extract that gives it a bold and distinctive flavor. With Amerindian origins, this dish is often prepared in large quantities, bringing family and friends together around a shared meal. Another staple of these occasions is rum-soaked fruitcake. Dried fruits, steeped in alcohol for months, create a dense dessert that's especially cherished during Christmas. Each slice evokes memories and reconnects people to their traditions. Outside of festive settings, the streets reveal another side of Guyanese cuisine. Folori, a fried dough ball made from split pea batter, is a popular snack for those seeking a quick and satisfying bite. Alongside it, options like doubles, roti wraps, and the egg ball, a boiled egg coated in cassava dough and fried, show how recipes adapt to everyday life. From family gatherings to street corners, Guyana continues to share its story through dishes born in its kitchens and carried out into the world. Drinks also play a key role in Guyana's culinary identity, complementing dishes and expanding the range of flavors. Mauby, made from the bark of a local tree, has a subtle bitterness and is a staple in many households. Meanwhile, sorrel, brewed from the petals of roselle, offers a sweet and tangy flavor, especially popular during festive seasons. These drinks highlight how the use of local ingredients blends with creativity and generations of knowledge. Looking at Guyanese cuisine as a whole, it's clear that its dishes and drinks are about more than just nourishment. Every meal, whether it's a simple weekday breakfast, a festive banquet, or a quick stop at a street food stall, carries the imprint of diverse cultural influences, telling a story with every bite and sip. Until recently, Guyana's economy revolved around agriculture, with sugar and rice cultivation, along with gold and bauxite mining at its core. However, this picture changed dramatically with the discovery of offshore oil reserves. Almost overnight, Guyana found itself in the global spotlight, becoming one of the fastest-growing economies in the world. In Georgetown, the capital, the impact of this new era is already evident. New businesses, booming construction, and the influx of foreign investment have created a vibrant atmosphere. A city once grounded in more traditional routines now showcases a dynamic landscape, full of opportunities and upward trajectories. This shift inspires optimism, but also raises questions about what lies ahead. Rapid growth, however, comes with challenges. The cost of living has skyrocketed, driving up prices for housing and food. Families with modest incomes are feeling the strain, struggling to keep up with changes that seem to be happening faster than their ability to adapt. While cities face rapid economic transformations, life in the countryside moves at a different pace. Bartering still thrives among neighbors, ensuring access to goods and services without the instability of fluctuating prices. On many plots of land, cassava, rice, and other foods go straight from the ground to the table, while fishing and raising animals reinforce self-reliance and community bonds. This close connection to the land and the direct exchange of resources help maintain balance, even as the national landscape seems to change daily. Meanwhile, the government is working to channel the newfound oil wealth beyond urban centers. Part of the revenue from offshore extraction is being directed toward infrastructure, education, and environmental protection projects. New roads, bridges, and energy systems aim to connect remote regions, expand opportunities, and strengthen the foundation for a more inclusive future. Guyana is investing in education to equip young people and adults with the skills needed in science, technology, engineering, and math. At the same time, the country is expanding access to technical and higher education, paving the way for a knowledge-driven economy that is broader and more dynamic. This effort goes beyond economic growth. Environmental stewardship is a key part of the plan. There's a commitment to preserving tropical forests, wildlife, and clean waters, along with policies that support conservation projects and the responsible management of natural resources. At the same time, Guyana is exploring renewable energy sources like hydropower and solar energy, reducing its reliance on fossil fuels and moving toward a more sustainable future. The big challenge lies in fairly distributing the wealth generated by oil, ensuring opportunities reach both urban centers and rural communities. It's about meeting everyone's needs while preserving the country's culture, identity, and natural legacy. If this transition is well managed, Guyana has the potential to become an economic powerhouse in the region without losing touch with the roots that define its people. In Guyana, the connection between people and the environment goes beyond simple coexistence. It reflects a deep understanding inherited from Amerindian communities that the land is not just a resource but a legacy to be cared for thoughtfully. Over centuries, these communities developed practices to preserve rivers, forests, and wildlife, ensuring that these treasures remain accessible for future generations. Building on this cultural heritage, the country has embraced a modern vision of development rooted in harmony between the economy and nature. The government's Low-Carbon Development Strategy, LCDS, guides growth without overlooking the value of its tropical forests. These forests, among the most pristine on Earth, not only absorb large amounts of harmful gases, but also host an incredible diversity of species. By redirecting resources to protect these areas, Guyana has become a global leader in tackling climate change. The result is a local economy that grows while honoring its environmental commitments. Ecotourism, for instance, creates opportunities by connecting visitors to preserved landscapes, benefiting communities and encouraging collective responsibility. In this way, Guyana shows that it's possible to grow without breaking the ancestral bond between people and the land, preserving the essence of a place that understands the value of balance between humanity and nature. Kaya Tour Falls, with its drop towering several times higher than Niagara Falls, offers more than just a breathtaking view. Surrounded by forests where the golden frog and the Guianan cock of the rock find refuge, it stirs something deeper in those who visit. Standing before its raw energy, many realize they're not at just another tourist spot, but at a place that connects humanity to the essence of the natural world. This experience goes beyond the scenery. Travelers venturing further discover indigenous villages open to exchange, where encounters become opportunities to learn. In places like Surama, in the Rupununi region, visitors can watch cassava bread being made, join in basket weaving, and walk trails that reveal the rhythm of life in the forest. Here, cultural practices and spiritual beliefs demonstrate an integrated understanding of people and the land, fostering mutual respect passed down through generations. At the same time, environmental stewardship is strengthened through cooperation between the government and local communities. Rivers, wetlands, and savannas are home to species like the giant otter, the black caiman, and the arapaima, the largest known freshwater fish. Conservation programs ensure these ecosystems remain healthy, supporting a local economy rooted in fishing, agriculture, and ecotourism. In this way, Guyana shows that preserving nature is also about honoring those who depend on it, and that maintaining this balance benefits everyone. Guyana expresses its essence through a deep connection with nature. Here, traditional knowledge passed down through generations meets modern initiatives that protect environmental diversity without hindering economic progress. The result is a place where landscapes, cultural values, and environmental policies work together, reminding everyone that human well-being depends on balance with the world around us. Visitors to Guyana don't just witness unique environments. They experience the richness of a people who keep their traditions alive while working toward a more sustainable future. Indigenous communities demonstrate their way of living in harmony with the land, celebrating what it provides while ensuring nothing is wasted. Every step reveals that preservation isn't an isolated act, but a way of life. In this meeting of diverse cultures and extraordinary natural resources, Guyana becomes more than just a destination. It's an experience that inspires reflection, invites participation, and teaches the value of collective responsibility.